Nobody can stop reggae.
Yeah, man, you're listening to Vibes Radio. The show is Season Seckle with me, Nazizi, the original Roots daughter.
And Aya, Ras really KK Black is Sus.
Yeah, man, and we are on the Stir It Up segment. We are talking about African food colonization, and we are asking, do you think Africans are for Africa, and how can we protect Africa from being food dependent?
Most definitely, Rasta. We just mentioned about the biotech companies where they're making the GMOs. You know, this is initially like a globalization agenda, which has been happening for a while. So most definitely be sure that there are foreign powers that are trying to have some agendas pushed into foreign states like in Africa, Asia, and South America, Rasta. And you know, on top of that, with them having the biotech thing going, they can actually weaponize food, Rasta. They can actually, because you know, you can use food as a biological weapon, Rasta.
Now you can imagine, you know, Babylon have used so many ways of you know, taking advantage of the people for their own gains.
Most definitely.
And imagine when they can control the whole world through food, through seeds.
Imagine the ugali I eat, Rasta. When I go to lunch, you know, my skuma and ugali Rasta and my liko kachumbari Rasta. Imagine having the corn having been genetically manipulated, Rasta, to make the ugali Rasta. Yeah, and the kales too, Rasta, you know what I mean? Because also the hybrid fertilizers that they're using, Rasta, some of them you never know could not be safe for the human consumption. So you definitely, it's an issue, it's a big issue in Africa where us as Africans, Rasta, farming has always been a big backbone for Africa. Even when we are talking about how to implement African vision, farming has always been one of those big agendas, Rasta, that we have to push, Rasta.
Yeah, and you know, right now we have a lot of cancer cases also linked to these genetically modified foods.
Yeah.
And before, I remember when we were growing up, you know, cancer was something you would hear once in a while, especially here in Africa. You know, people used to say that is a Western disease, you know. But right about now in Africa, you know, and even here in Kenya, they said, especially in the Western region, a lot of people are suffering from cancer. And why is that? You know, a lot of people and research has been done, and a lot of people have found that, you know, the GMOs are linked, you know, somewhere or another. And so in this year time, it's such a serious time. You have to really, really be careful about what you eat. You know, they even have GMO chicken. And right now you buy chicken in the store. If it's not kienyeji, you don't really know what Rasta, made this chicken.
This is, at times, I think it's crucial. It's vital for people to understand. It's brutal on what they do to the chickens, Rasta. Sometimes, once the chicken is injected with the hormones, it becomes so heavy that it breaks its own legs, Rasta, because it's heavy now, you know, and naturally it wasn't designed that way, Rasta. That is not DNA, Rasta. Yeah, so definitely we have to be conscious and most definitely upright on what we are doing, on how we are farming, on what we are eating, Rasta, right now.
Yeah, man, it's so important. Watch what you eat. Read the labels. Sometimes the labels will tell you if it's organic or if it's GMO.
Yeah,
right now, around the world, what I know, in a foreign especially, if you want to buy organic food is more expensive.
Yeah, it's labeled.
Yeah, so what they want you to do is not to buy the organic tomato because it'll be $1 more.
Yeah, man.
They want you to buy the GMO one, which will be like $1 less, right?
Most definitely.
So they're already trying to change the system so organic food is more expensive. In a foreign, they even have special organic markets.
Yes, sir.
And it's like a privilege if you're able to afford and go to this organic market.
Yeah, man.
I mean, this is currently happening now in a foreign.
Yeah, man.
And that means as soon as we know, it's going to be happening back here in Africa, where it's going to be all organic market. Because when I was trying to buy, look, I went to Ruaka the other day and I was trying to buy some fruit and some stuff. And then one gentleman told me, "Usibai Ruaka. Wanaikaga chemical, you know, they put chemicals to the fruit and stuff so that it can ripen or really quick. So they have these stores and they put all the food down and then they spray some chemicals so that it can ripen quick." And I was thinking, really, I'm coming over here, I'm thinking this stuff is organic, and because it looks organic to me, right?
Yes, I.
But already it means the African farmers and them, they're just trying to see how can I sell more and more stuff.
Yeah.
If these chemicals are gonna make my, my product ripen quickly, then I'm gonna spray. But are they educated enough to know what is this spray gonna do to the person who's gonna eat this food? So it's something that's moving very fast, and we have to be, and that is why we found it so important to talk about this today, because as much as it's a problem, there's ways that we can protect ourselves from it, and we're gonna be discussing that